Hello traders and welcome to the Weekly Forex forecast for the week of April 21st, 2019. We're going to go ahead and get into it, starting with the dollar index on a weekly time frame. You can see that again we just consistently been in this wedge here. But on the week, the dollar actually had a pretty good week here. You can see it certainly strengthening, threatening the highs here at 97.70. We could certainly see a break of that if you go down to a smaller time frame. You can see that it was a nice bull flag type formation going right into this area of resistance. Could certainly see a breakout above 97.70. Saw some dollar strength across many of the pairs. So if that were to happen, we get a breakout, I'd certainly start looking at 98.68 as the next area of resistance here within the dollar. So watch for the breakout there. If it turns in to be a fake out, we start moving back down to the downside here. Continue to watch this area. I'll probably move this up just a touch here. Watch this area right through here at 96.28 as an area of support. Could still, we're still in this wedge here. Could still bounce around here quite a bit. So 96.28 would be support. 97.70 is current resistance. But there's a bullish move within it. If we can break out above that, watch 98.68. Again, that bull flag that's on a daily time frame there. Euro dollar here, you can see we're kind of very choppy, very much like the dollar index there. You can see that on the week. Euro had a pretty, the pair itself had a down week here. Still watching this 111.48 here, and we're turning down here again, and I could certainly make a run for that. I was expecting a little bit higher prices here in the euro, didn't quite get that. Current resistance right now is at 113.03. And support, again, watching this 111.48. Now, if it breaks 112 on momentum here, I could certainly see 111.48. We'll be watching this area as support. But if we get higher prices, current price here, 113.03 or 113 levels, current resistance here in the market. Beyond that, watch the round numbers pretty much. 114 is another area of resistance as well as 115. 115 is really the key figure here. We'd have to have quite a pretty good run here, and you can see volatility across all these pairs. A lot of these pairs is really kind of dried up, dollar yen especially. But the markets are really not moving a whole lot. But you can see we did get a little bit of movement here, but really if we can break above 115, then that's kind of the key here in the euro. You could certainly start to see higher prices, but we're a good ways away from that. And according to this current volatility environment, probably not likely unless there's a some type of big momentous news event that kind of comes out here. So currently 113 resistance, 111.48. Continuing to target this area if we can make a lower low and hit that area as support. Pound dollars, go ahead and start with the weekly. You can see pound dollar really not doing a whole lot these past couple of weeks, just kind of bouncing around. You can see it had a fairly poor week here, and looking to break this 130 level here, kind of a key level of support that's been holding up for quite a while. If it does break, certainly start targeting, at least this 128 level right through here. Go ahead and move this up a touch. This 128 level would be this next area of support. Could certainly go down there. It's nice space, so it could flush down there pretty quickly. Otherwise, you can see that we're still technically within this kind of wedge type formation here. We could certainly bounce off of this and then start breaking higher here. If we can break this level, this falling line here on momentum here, then you could certainly start to see open up 132, 133, and start to see higher prices. Right now, looking to the downside here, and depending on the Brexit conversation, could see further downside here in the pound. Dollar yen, you can see here on the dollar strength, all these pairs really, a lot of dollar strength throughout them. Dollar yen has had a nice move up and is consolidating here as well. 112 has been a kind of keeping a lid on things so far with the yen. And, we were watching 112, even a 112.51 here for a possible short trade. Certainly, again, looking fairly bullish here, so we might have to stay on the bullish side here. Currently watching 112.51 for resistance, and beyond that 113.81. If we start to rotate and start to move down aggressively, 109.91 would be the next area of support here. Aussie dollar had a nice week last week, a really nice breakout. Then we had a little bit of a pullback. However, we are holding above this falling trend line here. So if we continue to consolidate above this trend line around these areas, we could certainly see some further bullish action. We've been talking about the 72 figure here as the key area for a breakout. If we can break this area on momentum, could certainly start seeing, opening up 73, 73.50, maybe even 74 here at this point, but we certainly need to break 72 on momentum here. And this is pretty much what you'd expect, especially on a shortened holiday week. Nice breakout last week and kind of a consolidation of pullback, but we're still holding above this line. And if we can continue to hold above it, we could still see higher prices here in the Aussie, especially after this little pullback. Otherwise, if we start to trade down here off of poor numbers or rhetoric or anything like that, 70.39 would be the area of support. Kiwi Dollar had a negative week here. You can see, again, a lot of dollar strength. Broke out of this range here that we've been in for quite a while here, and still has a little bit more room to go, but it was nice close here along the lows. Could get a pullback going into this week, so let's go ahead and go down to a lower time frame here. Currently resistance is right around 67.09. If we flag against this level, could certainly see lower prices. It would open up 66.49 and 65.90 here for resistance. So leaning more towards the downside. The RBNZ has been pretty dovish here. So again, looking further to the downside here in the Kiwi. Again, pretty bearish week. Could get consolidation similar to the Aussie. Otherwise, could start to see prices really start to fall off. Current, again, resistance here is 67.09. Otherwise, if we pull back, watch this level here, 67.96. You could probably put that right there at 68. Yeah, the 68 figure. Certainly watch that area for resistance. Dollar CAD, go down to a higher time frame here. You move higher, and you can see this consolidation here as well. Again, a lot of dollar strength. You can see that looks fairly had a bullish week here. Go down to a lower time frame. Expect to see higher prices here. Current resistance is right here at 134.60. Watch that level. If that breaks on momentum, could open up 136.39 pretty quickly here. So we're going to be watching this level for resistance and a possible breakout here as well. Current support is market support at 32.95 here. Been good support here so far. If we start to reverse even lower than this, though, certainly watch this 131.50 to 130.93 area. So it's about 50 pip area between 131.50 and 130 the figure for 131 the figure for support here. But otherwise, looking fairly bullish, holding these highs through here. And you can see you make it slightly higher highs, or higher lows, excuse me. If we can get a breakout to 34.60, you could certainly see that open up here. Euro Yen, you can see had a negative week here, but still kind of in this box. Going down to a lower time frame here, you can see a nice run up and a little bit of pullback here on the week. And really directionless so far. Continue to watch 127.16 for resistance. Support down here at 123.33. Aussie Yen, a little bit more of a mover here. You can see last week pretty bullish week and a nice pullback, very similar to the Aussie dollar here. So let's go and go down to a lower time frame again. Watching the 79.82 area for support. If that were to break and get a deeper pullback here, certainly look at the 78.65 area as an area of support. So again, if we pull back a little bit further, turns out to be a fake out, could certainly see 78.65 as support. Otherwise, if Aussie obviously follows through, you could certainly expect Aussie Yen to do the same. Current lid on the market here is at 80.50. You can see it's kind of fighting this level, but it's holding up near these highs here. So it's still fairly bullish. Is exactly what you'd expect to move in, and then a pullback, but this pullback is actually holding up near the highs. So if we can get any more bullish momentum and break this area here, 80.50 on momentum here, it would certainly start opening up the 82 figure at 82.29. So a little bit more bullish here on this pair if we can hold through these highs and hold above 79.82. Pound yen, you can see again a little bit of a consolidation, and we're holding above 144.16. Had a fairly negative week. Obviously, it's going to be dependent on where this pound goes going into the week. Kind of at a crossroads there. But you can see holding up here, and if some of the Brexit fears are allayed, you could certainly start to look at 147.33, 149.26 actually would be the key area to watch for resistance. Support currently right now is at 144.16. That's our weekly Forex forecast for the week of April 21st, 2019. Good hunting out there, and happy trading.